Disney World is every kid's dream park to visit. Ever since it opened back in 1971, it has brightened the lives of millions of guests and continues to attract over 10 million fans per year. I'm your host as always, Back Time, and today I wanted to go over my picks for the 10 best Disney World rides and attractions. This list will be based on a few factors: how fun the ride is, how nostalgic the ride makes you feel, and how historically significant the ride is. But anyway guys, let's jump right into this list with number 10, the Mad Tea Party. This classic ride first opened in 1971 and has been a must-ride for generations of Disney fans. It's based off of the Alice in Wonderland movie, and like I said, it's a must ride. You have to do this. It's like a rite of passage for going to Disney World. It's something you have to do. It originally didn't actually have a roof, but was later added to protect from the rain in 1974. They also added in the central teapot during the rebuild. Riding the teacups with Cinderella is a truly magical experience that every Disney fan should try at least once, and that's why it's in at number 10. Next up is Peter Pan's Flight, which gives the audience members a glimpse into the magical world of Neverland. This ride features many of the famous animatronic characters, and it makes for a truly enjoyable experience. Now, while the ride itself isn't all that thrill-inducing, it is the environment that is what makes the ride so great. It really makes you feel like you're in your favorite character's shoes, and that makes the ride very special. It scores highly on the nostalgia and historical significant factors and make up for its lack of thrill. This is a ride you simply have to go on, and it's one you just have to try out for yourself. Coming in at number 8 is Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, which is a much newer attraction, but it just opened up a few years ago back in 2012, so obviously it scores much lower in the historical category, but it is an amazing ride nonetheless. It also features lifelike animatronics and features some of the best Disney songs of all time, including Under the Sea, Poor Unfortunate Soul, Kiss the Girl, and many others from the Little Mermaid movies. Such a great lineup of songs in this ride. If you're a Little Mermaid fan, then you will feel right at home in this ride, as it really does take you into another world. Number 7 goes to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which has been a staple in Frontierland since it opened in 1980. It scores decently high in the fun department, as it's a nice, smooth roller coaster ride that isn't too scary for kids, but not boring for adults either. It also gets high scores for its historicalness and nostalgia factors, and it has been a must-ride for fans of the park for decades. It's set in a western-style town and has very cool, old-timey feel to it. The decor for it is incredible. Overall, a very solid ride, and one that you just have to check out. Next up, we have the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which opened all the way back in 1973. It's a tale of a band of pirates led by Captain Jack Sparrow, and obviously it served as the inspiration for the now popular Johnny Depp movie series. Anyway, the ride is a water log flume-based adventure with massive sets full of animatronic characters and songs of plunder to go along with them. On top of that, the actual ride has some mild drops and turns, making it decently fun experiences for people of all ages. But usually, like I said, it's the environments of these rides that make them so special. With its immersive setting and characters and songs, this ride is one of my favorites for sure. Just cracking the top 5 is the Haunted Mansion ride. And as far as historicalness and nostalgia go, Haunted Mansion scores about as high as you could possibly score. It was a day one attraction for Disney World when it opened in 1971. It is an all-time classic in the park. It features some of the best set designs ever made for a theme park ride, and also has great voice acting cast to the original recordings. It's creepy but not too scary for young kids. It's like just the right amount of jump scares and creepiness to keep kids and adults alike entertained the entire time. The sound design during the ride is incredible and makes the experience an absolute must for anyone visiting the park. Number 4 goes to the Rock and Roll roller coaster, and it really is my favorite roller coaster in any theme park in America. It's top-notch fun, fast-paced ride, but never over-the-top scary with its like massive drops and turns. It's just the right amount. It's just such a fun, smooth ride. It does, however, also have the coolest freaking theme ever, Aerosmith, and its music is incorporated into the ride, and it's done perfectly. It makes the ride a super cool and fun, enjoyable experience. There is a reason why this ride usually has some of the longest lines in all of the park, but it's totally worth the wait. It scores off the charts for fun factors, but like it makes up for its lack of nostalgia and historicalness because it's kind of a newer ride. Came out in like 1999, not that old, but still one of the best. Coming in number 3 is probably one of the more thrilling rides in the park, and that is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. The ride itself is just a simple drop tower, and you'd see them at any amusement park and anywhere pretty much, but what makes this one special is attention to detail put into the set design and audio design during the ride that makes you really feel like you're in an episode of the Twilight Zone. It's such a cool thing. Even the people that are the ushers onto the ride are there to, make you feel like you're in this creepy space, and they're telling you, keep, hands and stuff inside the vehicle and keep your heads down. It could be creepy in there. And then they have all this like craziness, and when we get to the top, they open up the shutter, and you can see over the park before a split second before they drop you down. Such a cool and interesting ride. The ride opened in 1994, so it does have a little, just tiny bit of historicalness, not too much there, but where it really shines is the fun department. I love this ride. It's always one of the first ones I go to when I visit Disney World, and that's why it's on this list at number 3. Runner-up spot is Space Mountain. Now, this is such an amazing experience and a classic ride at the park. Just such a great overall experience. It is an indoor space-themed roller coaster that first opened in 1975, believe it or not. It is still insanely cool to this day. Its space decor and feel make you really feel truly immersed in like this crazy like space adventure. It's got this awesome like light show and display when you're going through the ride. It's like dark, but there's like all these lights going on. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like out of this world, no pun intended. But for real, guys, the ride itself is fast, fun-paced. It's got good amount of fun to it. It's got high historicalness, and it's got a lot of nostalgia because it's been there for so long and been such a staple in the park. It's been there such a long time, such a great ride. Like I said, it's one of the, almost like a national treasure. It is certainly a ride that any Disney fan simply needs to ride while they're at the park. Now, before we get to our number 1 spot on the list, let's go over a few rides that just missed out on the top 10 list, but are still worthy of mentioning because they are great rides themselves. They're just not as good as some of the other ones. Some great examples here on this list. Let's go into some of them. And now my number 1 Disney World ride goes to Splash Mountain. And when I think of Disney World, the first thing that pops in my head is the big drop in Splash Mountain and how fun it is. And it literally never gets old, even after riding the thing for 100th time. I mean, it's based on the Disney film Song of the South, and its Splash Mountain features some of the most jaw-dropping decor and animatronic animals. It features some really classic Disney songs, great, feel to the ride. It's a log flume ride. It's such a cool experience. It's something that I feel like is like really encapsulates the magic you feel where you're supposed to feel at Disneyland, and it's good for all ages. It's fun for the kids, it's fun for the parents, it's fun for the teenagers. It's just overall the perfect ride, and it's one of my personal favorite theme park rides anywhere in any theme park, and I absolutely love it. So you combine, having amazingly fun log flume ride with having, a smash hit attraction with it, with the animatronics and the songs and all the decor. Such a cool piece, a truly timeless ride as well, and that's why it takes my number 1 spot. It's got good nostalgia factor, even though it's not too terribly old, but it's still got all of the feels of the old-timey stuff, and it's got the fun factor going for it. That's why it's on top 10. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Disney content. It really helps out my channel when you guys take a second to hit that like button. So let's try and hit 500 likes if we can. Really appreciate you guys doing that. Also, be sure to check out some of my previous Disney related videos. I've done hundreds of them. Check them out. Links will be in the description and the end slate. There'll also be a playlist. You guys can check out all my Disney content. But remember, guys, it's always K-Mac time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out.
Ninja.